fourth generation version of Kia's Sportage family crossover model builds on the step forward its predecessor made, this time round offering strident looks, more accomplished driving dynamics and a much nicer cabin. It's a car the Qashqai class will like.
On the move, Kia has stiffened the chassis of this fourth generation model while retuning the suspension and redesigning the steering system, all in pursuit of a firmer, sportier, more European feel at the wheel. Now, if that's what you want, then that's what this Sportage now delivers. Just be aware that the experience is very different to what was on offer previously. There's far less change beneath the bonnet though, the engine lineup including basically the same options as before, although the units in question have been updated to meet more efficient Euro 6 standards. As a result of that, the 114 brake horsepower 1.7 litre CRDI diesel derivative we're trying here is capable of 61.4 miles per gallon on the combined cycle and 119 grams per kilometre of CO2. Diesel drivers wanting all-wheel drive or the option of automatic transmission will need to stretch up to one of the 2-litre CRDI models. There's a choice of either 134 bhp or 182 bhp outputs, both only offered with 4x4 traction. For petrol people, meanwhile, there's a budget-orientated, front-driven 130 bhp, 1.6-litre GDI variant at the foot of the range, or a pokier 174 bhp TGDI petrol turbo model if you're able to stretch to the sportier GT line trim level. Do you like it? Well, it's important to Kia that you do, because looks were high on the list of reasons why customers bought the previous generation model. This fourth generation version doesn't perhaps have quite the elegance of that car, but arguably a bit more street-side presence has been introduced this time around, particularly at the front end, which seems to remind many of a Junior League Porsche Cayenne. Time to look inside. Now, it's now slightly easier to get in and out because the floor has been lowered by 40 millimetres. And once behind the wheel, you'll find a driver-centric fascia that's a little more angled towards the driver, with flush-fitting fixtures and trim, soft-to-the-touch materials, and smart detailing like the silver trim used around these air vents. It's a big step forward from the cabin of the previous model, which really wasn't able to match the sophistication of the exterior styling. Helping in this regard is a reduction in the number of switches and buttons thanks to the installation of this centre dash infotainment touchscreen. It's a standard feature provided you avoid entry-level trim. Now I'm in the back, I'll mention something I should have touched upon in the front, namely that the seats are more comfortable this time around. They offer firmer side supports and softer foam, plus here in the rear they recline for greater comfort on longer trips. Let's take a look out back. Raise the slightly heavy tailgate and you'll find that boot capacity has risen by 26 litres with this Mark IV model to 491 litres with a temporary spare wheel in place. A feature, by the way, that's standard across the range, providing you avoid the entry-level 1.6 litre petrol engine. Expectations were high for this fourth generation Sportage, and it satisfies many of them. It is certainly a confident car, firm in stance, in ride, and in the value proposition it offers. Exactly, in fact, the sort of thing many Qashqai class buyers will be looking for. Yes, you could pay much more for a crossover of this kind, but after trying a Sportage, you might well end up questioning the need to, which says it all, really.